Hello friends, Tanya here for Trinity Stamps, and this week we are focusing on a single stamp designer, and she does the Love Danny series. I am using two of the stamps from that series, this one and a second one. I had already colored these with my Copic markers. I used 3 colors of gray to create that background, a couple of greens and a couple yellows and a couple purples. I did do this coloring in a car on the way to go visit my daughter. I'm impressed with that. Whether you are or not, let me know in the comments. I am adding some details to this particular, well actually to both of these images, using some Sakura Jelly Roll pens. This one happens to be the Sparkle pen. I'll also be adding some details with the white gel pen. I think it's the 05 width, just some tiny dots. And here you can really see it on the friendship image. This particular image does not have a die. This one does. I could have used a coordinating die on the friendship one, but I just fussy cut it. And I used the modern embossed rectangle stack to die cut the magic one. Here I'm adding those white dots, just scattering those all over, just to create a little extra starry look to that. That didn't show up very well on the camera, but it'll show up later. Now I'm taking the Slimline Stripes stencil and the Bee Sting Yellow Ink on 3 Atelier ink, and I'm inking this yellow panel of cardstock up. As the title of this video suggests, I am doing both of these backgrounds behind these beautiful images done by Love Danny on colored cardstock. I was going for a more subtle yellow on yellow stripe on this one, and it turned out just as I envisioned. It just was to add a little, to break up that background a little bit. And then I decided to go ahead and add some stars. The stars are from the Quilted Pattern Trio stencils that coordinate with the Quilted background panel die. I think cover plate die. There, that's probably what it's called. And I'm using a sparkly black glitter paste to create that. I did not set this aside for long enough because when I die cut the rectangle, it squished a little bit of that sparkliness onto my plate. I did have to clean that off. This is coming together just as I wanted. I take a A2 sized card base and I'm going to adhere that to the card. Just have a little coaster blank behind there. And I thought about adding some image along with this, but I really didn't have anything current, well, other than one of the Harry Potter themes, but I'd recently used that already. So I want you to wait until next month and see what images come out that would have gone perfectly with this, because there are some. Come back later. And the second card, we're going to start with a pink card base, and I'm going to use something, My Jam Purple, there, that's what it's called, Atelier Ink on 3 ink. And I'm also going to use the Sweet Petunia Pink to create this gradient of pink to purple across this card front. I did use a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel of pink cardstock. This one happened to have some actual sun fading on it. There's a lot of sunlight in my craft room, and it was a scrap laying on my desk for a little while, the side that faces the biggest windows. And I liberally applied both of these inks because I wanted the stripes to be pretty dramatic. And since I am going to spritz this with some pearlized water, which is just perfect pearls in water that I keep on my desk because I use it all the time, I didn't want that extra ink to get all pooled or puddled. That's why I cleaned that up. I also have these little palettes, excuse me, on my desk that are always holding the Atelier ink re-inkers and the liquid pixie dust, which you can reconstitute with a little water if it dries out. I'm using the purple and the pink inks to spatter on there, and I started with the liquid pixie dust. Then I die cut that panel with the modern embossed rectangle stack, and we'll adhere that together the same way we did the other one. I did consider adding some of the candy swirl clay embellishments on this, but I thought it was just a little too much. Another way I could have created this was to stamp the eggs from the different gnome sets that were just released. Of course, I thought of that as I was recording this. I would have loved to have incorporated that in today's video. Here are the two cards again, the yellow and black and green for the Where You Go Magic Follows, and then the brighter, more feminine candy card. I hope you enjoyed these cards. I hope you learned something and are ready to go try a new technique. If you have not purchased these products before, or you just want to try the Trinity shop, check the description box below. It has links to all the products I used today. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, take a moment, click that button, and make sure you get to see all of the videos that come out in the future. We have a couple of videos that we thought you might be interested in here, and you can stop by every weekday to see a new video on Trinity stamps. Until next time, bye-bye.